Many people agree that Colin McRae Rally 1 was the most perfectly made rally racing game when it was released, and considering how much time and effort went into fine-tuning everything in the game, it's hard to imagine what sort of things could possibly have needed improving. As it turned out though, there was a lot that could be improved, and Codemasters, the company who made the game, they wasn't known for doing things by the half back then. They released Colin McRae Rally 2 in the year 2000 for the PlayStation 1 and the PC, and if the first game was the pioneer, then Colin McRae Rally 2 was the innovator. It took everything that was great about the first game, well, almost everything, and made it better and more enjoyable for more people, as well as adding a couple of exciting new game modes and some completely bonkers cheats, which we will definitely be talking about later on. The game also featured a massively improved Rally Championship mode. The player could race with any car that was unlocked in any of the available difficulties. This was brilliant because, in the original game, each difficulty had a fixed set of cars that were available, meaning that if you wanted to race with, say, a Suburu Imperza on Novice Difficulty, for example, you couldn't. You was only able to race with these sorts of cars on Intermediate Difficulty. Being able to race with any car on any difficulty was a huge step up for the series. There was, however, one catch, and it affected players who were a little less skilled at the game. If you were someone who loved to tear the Rally Championship up on Novice Difficulty, then no doubt you've seen how, well, easy the game can be. You can crash, roll the car, and just generally drive pretty badly and still finish with a kick-ass time. This all comes at a price though, because although Novice Difficulty is really forgiving, you won't win any exciting rewards like cheats and new cars, plus you only get to race on half of the stages available in the championship. Novice Difficulty works great as an introduction to the game, or maybe as a training mode of some sort, but the real action was in Intermediate and Expert mode. This is where you, the awesome rally racing gamer, has the chance to unlock some amazing new cars, as well as some of the wackiest cheats. There was, however, once again a catch if you wanted all of these fun and fancy rewards though. You won't win a thing unless you get good. Placing second or third in a rally won't get you anything. You need to finish in first place if you want to receive a shiny new reward. I mean, this does make sense of course, but wow. You cannot put a foot wrong in Intermediate, and certainly not Expert mode if you want to take the win and earn something fun. The smallest lapse in concentration that causes unnecessary time loss could be the difference between being able to, say, have the ability to turn your car into an awesome monster truck, or end up finishing mid-table. To add to this, the countries you get to race in all feature a variety of terrains, and they all come with their own challenges too. Finland and Greece are the first two courses, and they both do a great job getting the player used to how the gameplay mechanics work. The real challenge starts in the third course, which is set in France. It features lots of fast, windy tracks, and please tell me I'm not the only one who did this. I found out just how solid bushes are in this game, and despite doing this particular race in novice mode, I still managed to bugger things up quite badly. As I was coming round this corner, I hit a tree. That's no big deal though, right? All I've got to do is drive back onto the track and all will be well. Oh wait, there's some bushes in the way. Oh, they're made out of titanium. Maybe if I just drive a little further they'll... Oh, there's 500 trees in the way. You don't want to know what time I finished this stage on. Please tell me you guys did something similar. Sweden is the next location, and this is the land of snow and ice. Now, as challenging as it is here, I found it a lot more forgiving compared to the snow levels in the first game. The tracks feel a lot wider, and if you do accidentally slide off, it doesn't take forever to get back on and continue to push for first place. Australia and Kenya are next, and they both feature an array of fast and dusty courses. Kenya is particularly tricky because it's mostly made up of wide open roads, which, if you're anything like me, might make you zone out a bit. Then, out of nowhere, bam! A sharp turn onto a completely different driving surface. It's very cleverly designed because these unexpected changes in conditions means you have to stay sharp, even when you think you can let your guard down. Italy is next, and I think this is a stage that people either loved or hated, with no in between. It featured a lot of tight and twisty turns, plus the tracks here are incredibly narrow, making the whole experience very intense. I think a lot of people would have got a huge rush out of the sheer chaos of it all, whereas others would be left feeling completely overwhelmed. The final stage takes place in the United Kingdom, and if there was one thing that was proved here, it's that mud is slippier than ice. It might sound weird, but I honestly found my car a lot tougher to control on the muddy parts of these stages than I did on the icy stages in Sweden. Going too fast around these corners and understeering seemed to hit a lot harder than they did anywhere else in the game, and no matter what I changed when setting the car up, it always felt like an incredible challenge. Which of these locations do you have the most memories racing around? Let us know in the comments. It wasn't all about the Rally Championship though in Colin McRae Rally 2. Unlike the first game, this one featured an arcade mode, and this is where the game took a very casual turn. All of the seriousness and realism that you experienced in rally mode was put to one side and replaced with circuit racing and fireballs? Arcade mode was still very challenging, but all of the smaller details that were changed is what made it feel so laid back. Unlike rally mode, there was music playing in the background, and this gave for a more casual feel when racing. As well as that, your co-driver who gives you instructions wasn't included in arcade mode, meaning you had to learn all of the tracks blindly. And yes, you could shoot fireballs at other cars in arcade mode. And it was hilarious to do, but this wasn't a standard feature in arcade mode. This is one of those cheats that gets unlocked when winning a rally. You might think that shooting fireballs makes the game a bit too easy and removes the challenge. Well, it does briefly, but you'll soon find yourself at the back again because you're not the only one who's picked up a fire flower before the race. All of the other cars can shoot fireballs too, and they've all got their headlights facing you. On the subject of challenging opponents, there was one other game mode you could play. It was called Challenge Mode, and it was perfect if you wanted to prove to up to 7 of your mates that you were better than them at Colin McRae Rally 2. Challenge Mode is a knockout tournament that's held at one of the game's special stages. You go one-on-one with your opponent, and the winner stays on. To add to the challenge, the car you drive is picked at random, and the driving surfaces frequently change between rough, slidey gravel and firm stick-to-the-road tarmac. Challenge mode was really fun, but one thing I really wish they added to the game was Rally School. It was such an amazing part of the first game, plus you were being examined by the main man himself. Although Rally School was missing, it's fair to say that Codemasters still gave us an excellent rally racing game with more than enough to do. Colin McRae Rally 2 managed to do the impossible and improve on the first game, which at the time was the perfect rally simulator. It allowed gamers to get a true experience of just how intense the world of rally racing is, all whilst making sure that everyone who did play the game was having fun, regardless of what their skill level was. Being able to unlock cheats really added a lot to the game's character in my opinion. Where the game is mostly about serious racing and being under pressure, the cheats offered a very well welcomed silliness to the game, and in my opinion, this balanced everything out perfectly. Now, if you're still not too sure whether Colin McRae Rally 2 was actually better than the first game, this video right here might help you make up your mind.